Cafe Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey, look at this. It's Mike Matthews, and I'm at FM episode 2202.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
2202, and it's 21221 today. Lots of numbers for you. 2122021. Yay. Hi. I've just come up with like some weird numeric pop song. I hope you like it. It wasn't very long. It's done. And I haven't done a podcast all week. I've been so busy with all kinds of stuff.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
One of the radio stations I work for does like a fundraiser thing. Have you ever been part of a fundraiser?
Mike's
People
Daily
outside of
Podcast.
the radio industry.
Yeah.
Or perhaps maybe you hear like your favorite cause has some kind of like a running thing or a walkathon, or I've done those. Oh, I did a walkathon once with Rob Lowe and the late Bill Paxton. They were good friends. They lived in Santa Barbara. They knew each other, and they put together this big AIDS walk. That's right. It was in Ventura. I think this was in the late 90s, early O's. And Bill Paxton and Rob Lowe, there was like a bench, like a table that they got up on because it was early in the morning. It was over by the beach, I haven't been in Ventura. I have not been in Ventura so long, I forgot all the beaches. The one just south of the fairgrounds, there's a beach there. Used to know everything by heart. So anyway, Cafe Anyway, they got up there and said, thanks for showing up today. Here we go. We went on a nice walk. I remember a bunch of people, a bunch of coworkers went. So yes, I was setting up basically the radio side of one of those, making sure that everything was in its place, ready to go. Lots to take care of. And an interesting thing always happens with fundraisers. There are lots of complaints.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Lots of complaints from the people working. There's always somebody complaining about something. If you ever... Why wasn't I notified? This could have been done better. That's the da-da-da. Anywho. Cafe Anywho. That's just something I have to deal with whenever these fundraisers show up. One time, I worked for a country station. We did a fundraiser in a mall. We were all set up there, and I remember there was this listener that showed up and just stared at me because I used to be on the radio. Basil. And Basil's on every podcast. The late, great Basil the Boxer. And the podcast picture, by the way, is of a trail that he and I used to walk on. The Live Oak Trail. My lovely lady friend walked on it the other day, and she took this nice picture. And you can see it at mikesdailypodcast.com. And her birthday's coming up, and Valentine's Day's coming up, and President's Day's coming up. It's just it's like Christmas all over again. In the month of February, Black History Month. So a lot's happening. Yes, I remember sitting there. We were doing our fundraiser for St. Jude's. A lot of country stations raise money for that. Hospital, it's in Memphis. Helps kids that have cancer and other diseases that wouldn't be able to pay for it. All their costs are covered. So we're raising money for that, and this guy shows up, and he's just staring at me. And I'm starting to get a little nervous because he's just looking at me, and I'm like, oh, okay, what's this guy? Does he want to hit me? Does he want to thank me? Does he want to shake my hand? But he wanted to thank me, actually. It was a classic country show that I was doing early on Saturdays or Sunday mornings. Actually, it was pre-recorded. I did it ahead of time, and then it played Sunday mornings. Meanwhile, I'm sleeping in. But yes, it was a classic country show. It was called the Looking Back Breakfast, which was... Oh, the doorbell just rang here at Cafe Anyway. I wonder who that could be. Should we open the door? No. Well, I did the Looking Back Breakfast, and it was in relation to the song Looking Back Texas, which is a Willie Nelson, who's his name? Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings. Me and Waylon and the Boys. That's right. I haven't heard that song in a while. I need to listen to that. I used to hear it all the time. Oh, somebody just went to check who rang the doorbell. It was UPS or Amazon. Amazon's got their own UPS vans driving around. One of those people. Or maybe it was one of those independent people that just throws all the packages in the back of their car. Anyway, Cafe Anyway, they drop something off at the front of the door. And we thank them oh so much. Hey, you know, one of the great Depeche Mode albums, switching gears topics ever so quickly because it is my show and I'll do whatever I dang well please, was before Violator, there was an album called Music for the Masses. Have you ever listened to this album? It's pretty darn good. It's like the other, if you love Violator, you've got to listen to Music for the Masses because I forget what the album is that comes out after Violator. I wasn't as impressed as with Violator and Music for the Masses. Such a good. This one has Never Let Me Down Again. Strange Love, Strange Highs and Strange Lows. Strange Love, That's How My Love Goes. Then there's the Behind the Wheel is on here, right? Agent Orange, To Have and to Hold, Pleasure Little Treasure, I Want You Now. Your Behind the Wheel is not on this. Then where the heck did that come from? That song. Oh, yeah, it is. Behind the Wheel right here. It's called Behind the Wheel. Little 15. That's right. Little 15. Okay, so if you love Violator, you got to listen to that one if you're a Depeche Mode fan. If you're not a Depeche Mode fan, then why did I waste my breath? Hey, are you into games? Video games? I am not. I was as a kid. As we go outside a Cafe Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. I have very little time between my work at home and all the stuff I do with the podcast and in the world of radio. But think about video games. If they're just for kids, you're wrong. According to a 2019 survey by AARP, 44% of Americans age 50 and older enjoy video games as well. And there's good reason to. Several studies have shown cognitive benefits from playing. For example, psychology professors at the University of Montreal concluded that playing 3D platforming games could stave off mild cognitive impairment and perhaps even prevent Alzheimer's. That's between the ages of 55 and 75 that play games, video games. Another study published by the market research firm Elsevier found that among people older than 63, those who were gamers reported higher levels of happiness versus older adults who did not play. And isn't this podcast so great because I'm not on my platform today? I got a little bit heated about political people, political speakers, conservative talk show hosts, and others who whine about the world and never have anything to say to help it. And I can't stand that. So I went off on that, if you want to hear that on the last podcast, but I shall not do that today. Games can also help sharpen physical dexterity. Age Well, a Canadian organization that focuses on technologies and services for healthy aging, maintains that life satisfaction is reported to be highest among seniors with good cognitive and physical health and strong community relationships. An NBC report from August of 2019 says research has shown that some forms of cognitive stimulation may delay or slow the onset of degenerative neurological diseases such as Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia. With their complex controls and fast pace, video games can provide a mental workout for seniors. So perhaps I should start playing so I don't get the Alzheimer's. This was all put together by Mark Saltzman. And as I've said before, he's got kind of this this picture must be him 20 years ago, because there ain't no way he looks like this now, unless I don't know, maybe a lot of these pictures you see that gets put on the magazine articles or the newspaper articles or whatever gets on the web, they're usually pretty old and shows them really young. But he put together this report, or put together all these reports into this article. The report adds that gamers over 50 found video games offer the social benefit of interacting with other players and even the chance to build followings on platforms like YouTube and Twitch. Okay, all that, some of that, most of that, I don't agree with, wouldn't do, because I'm so busy, as I said. But I pulled that article out of the Costco connection, like I do just about everything. It's free. It gets thrown at me as I'm leaving Costco. So there you go. What else? There was some other stuff I haven't touched upon yet that I've been meaning to. One of them, that there was a family reunion on Saturday Night Live with the Levy family, Eugene Levy and Dan Levy. I don't know if you watched. I haven't seen the whole episode, but I did see the one where, what was happening? Oh, there was a wedding going on, and Dan Levy and Karen McKinnon are in the audience, and you know, with that part of the wedding where the preacher says, if anyone has any issues, speak now, forever hold your peace. And they kind of go, well, you know, we don't really know this guy. And what I just explained as a premise sounds like it wouldn't be funny, but it was. There we go. That happened. And then what else happened lately was a Toronto high-rise had COVID testing come to its door. It's part of the Toronto a door-to-door TCHC testing program, part of Toronto's effort to bring testing to vulnerable populations who need it most. They do that in Canada. Do they do that here? I don't know. Cafe, I don't know. And that's all I had. I don't know why I saved that article. Like, that was going to be interesting. I guess it's good to know that some of these senior living places are, I mean, they should be helped. I know a lot of seniors that have gotten the vaccine already, and health workers that have gotten the vaccine. Oh, what's this? The vaccine had to be used. He used it, and he was fired. 10 doses of COVID-19 vaccine would expire within hours, so a Houston doctor gave it to people with medical conditions, including his wife. What followed was the lowest moment in my life, Dr. Hassan Gockel said. He was fired and charged with stealing. He made house calls and directed people to his home so he could give out the vaccine. The craziness of the vaccine. And then that's all I got. Next show, it's going to be the wonderful... we didn't even say hi to the Cafe Anyway characters today. Yet. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing? It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what. What? I want my vaccine. I want it now. And my MTV. Okay. We'll just, be patient. We all should be getting it soon. I know. The fact that I actually know people that have gotten it says that it is getting distributed. My mom's still trying to get it. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, I make the delicious root beer. Has to right now. Oh, boy, it's vaccine root beer. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that would work. It's got to go into your shoulder. It's got to go into your arm. And, one of the people that I heard that got it done, they said they had a little bit of the COVID arm where the arm was sore. And they were fine. Then they got the second dose, and then they felt a little sick for about 2 days, but then they were fine. So, but it's each person's different. But she was telling me this with a mask off. because she didn't have to wear a mask anymore. The pluses and the minuses and the benefits and the non-benefits. Right, Brewmaster?
Drink my root beer, I'll kill you.
Uh-huh. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Been a busy, busy week. I hope it was a good week for you. Hopefully we'll get to do a podcast before Valentine's Day. And, I just got a text from someone at work, so I need to go. That's right. When the texts happen, I need to run, because I'm on a call. On call. Don't forget, Sundays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., I am on the radio. There's a link to my music show, playing a lot more 80s now on this show.
I need some turntables, Mike, if you're going to say it like that.
Any Depeche Mode, you'll have to listen in to see. You can find that link at mikesdailypodcast.com. Take it away, Eva.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!